What? Yoshi cut. Bro. Oh, I'm already in love with the stand ability.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages? Welcome back to the AOA Reacts channel. I'm your host, as always, Ian, along with the boy Isaiah.
Yo, yo, yo.
And today, we are finally starting what I've been so excited to start for such a long time now. Oh, this day is glorious, and that is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean Part 6. Oh man, this is awesome. They have this on Netflix right now. It was, at the time of recording, it was released today, and they released the first 12 episodes, and there will be more to come. I'm super stoked for this, and just a disclaimer before we go into it, I have read this part in the manga. Isaiah has not, so Isaiah's going in virtually blind. I know the major plot points and what's going to happen. I read the manga, over a year ago at this point, so I probably will forget some sort of things. So it's really just going to be a lot of me gushing and I guess more of Isaiah reacting for the first time to things that are going down. So it should be really fun. This is a good part, in my opinion, in the JoJo series. It is the first and only part where we have a female protagonist, or at least as the main character, like the JoJo, which is really cool. And Jolyne as the protagonist really knocks it out of the park, in my opinion. And I'm really excited to see this animated because I feel like JoJo is one of those animes, or stories rather, that really benefits from being animated, at least from what I've seen so far. The manga is very, at least, what the version I read is very, very colorful and wacky and eccentric and all that sort of stuff. And I feel like having it in the animated medium really just accentuates that to a new level, which is what JoJo is all about. So I'm really excited to see this part animated. And what's great about this part is that it is a little controversial among some of the JoJo fans in the community. Some people put it down as their favorite. Some people don't like it. The ending is really wild, so you definitely want to stick along the whole time if you haven't seen it yet. It's probably the craziest JoJo ending I've seen so far. And so it's going to be a really cool ride. They're definitely going to have more than 12 episodes because, again, being that I've read it, I see where I went to where they end it, and it doesn't even seem that far. So there's going to be a lot of this to come, and I'm really excited about it. Again, you can catch this on Netflix if you have an account, which is really cool, and catch the first 12 episodes. But I'm excited to have you join this bizarre adventure with us. But Isaiah, what are your thoughts before going into this?
So thoughts is general thoughts. I'm excited. Like you said, I have not read it. And I've been pretty removed from the JoJo space for a while. Like, I don't even remember. Like, I finished part 5. I haven't read any of it. Like, I'm an anime guy, anime only. And I finished part 5 when it came out, which feels like 100 years ago. Yeah. But so I'm just like, I'll be having to remember all JoJo stuff, because so the thing I was going to ask you was, as somebody who knows this story, how, because I know JoJo is generally across the board a pretty connected story, in the sense that, like, every, the events and, like, things that happen in one season do pertain to the season that follows, because it's kind of got this whole generational thing going. How much of, like, prior JoJo do you have to know to be able to watch and understand this one, would you say?
I would say if you remember some of the events that happen in part 3 specifically, which focuses on Kujo, mm-hmm. and his story, there will be some things that are alluded to from that part specifically, I would say. And so long as you're familiar with how stands work, you know what I mean? You're in pretty good shape, and how someone can obtain a stand, which again, I'm assuming you guys hopping into this have watched all 5 parts already. Or if not, like, this is something you'll want to know anyway. Otherwise, you'll be really confused. The arrow, the ancient arrows from Egypt, if you get pierced with them and live, you obtain a stand power if you don't die. So knowing that going into it will be a little relevant. And then knowing Dio, obviously, and some parts from part 3, being that the protagonist of this story is named Jolyne Kujo. The protagonist of part 3 is named Jotaro Kujo. So, you could put 2 and 2 together as to how she relates, you know what I mean, in this story. So obviously there will be some that you know, some of that alluded to. So, but yeah, not much is a long-winded way of saying. So
okay, cool.
Yeah, but
dope.
All right. I'm excited. Let's do this without further ado. Listen, if you guys though like the content, please make sure you are subbing to the channel, hitting the bell so you don't miss any future JoJo reactions. It's been a long time coming, and I can't wait to have you guys along for the journey. Smash that like button as well. It really goes a long way for the YouTube algorithm and getting our video out to more people so that we can get some more friends and some more JoJo fandom in here. I want to see these comments pop in with memes, with JoJo references. I want to see all of y'all going off in those comments with JoJo stuff, because that is what the community is really best known for, and I don't want to disappoint here. And like I said, hit us up there and hit us up in the description down below. We have a link there. It says Linktree. That'll take you to all the other ways that you can support our brand beyond just this YouTube channel. Things like our Discord, which is free to join, our merch, plenty of other things, and our Patreon if you want exclusive benefits like early, exclusive, and unfiltered access to a lot of live reactions that we do, depending on the style that we edited them in and the rate at which we watch them. So they will vary. I will let you know how that goes with JoJo specifically, but there will definitely be some nice goodies for people that head on over to Patreon and want to support us. But all right, now, without further ado, let's get into this reaction.
Damn, my girl got turned on by the moonlight. Of course, he was the youngest one.
Oh my god.
Yes.
I love how this is like a clear public conversation, and she's like, "Hey, quit butting in." Oh shit, she got the tell, bro. Oh, not the kanji. Oh, it's making me act up, bro. Oh, the star!
Let's go.
Damn. She said, "What'd you do?" Not a damn thing.
Like,
this man's ear? Oh, damn, she got the hookup? Did she bring her homework too? Damn. Damn.
And it begins.
And it begins. Well, like he saw that happen. He's like, all right, anyway, back to what we were talking about. Damn. Oh, look at him. Well, I mean, you already got the important thing from it, so technically, sure.
The only thing is that she just threw that thing down the drain.
Oh. Damn, bro, Jolyne is fine. There we go. We got our confidant. Our first homie in prison.
Everyone knows that every JoJo part and every protagonist needs like their right-hand man or woman. Every time.
Of course.
Yeah.
You gotta get your Ron Weasley.
It's a joint prison too.
Oh. Holy shit. 452 minors? I think y'all are getting a little trigger happy with those arrests. Shit. Like, hey, is that bubblegum? Get him!
A few Benjamins, she said.
Jolyne's like, idiot. I'm not going to prison, so I don't have to worry about that.
まさかお尻の穴とかあそことか丸めて入れてるとかうげー本当に映画みたいなことするのあ、まさかおっぱいその胸シリコンで一緒に金を入れてるとかうっそマジしょうがねえなもう誰にも言うなよ縫い目ちっちゃいだろ
That's so
Girl is
crazy.
strapped.
Right? That's just wild when you think about it.
It's like, remember the boob thing. I love that, like, Jolyne, what was her name? Eris?
Hermes.
Hermes were in that car, and there was, like, some totally normal looking in there. Oh, shit, she can hear in the car? Is that her stand? Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh. Oh my
Bro,
God.
I just gotta say, that man literally gave her the people's elbow. He said, whoops, the bus is breaking. Just like full up Hulk Hogan her ass.
Holy fuck, dude. I mean, they always do this shit in like any fiction or media that is portraying prison, where it's like the characters get to prison and then like frame one, the guards are like, get them, and just like fucking jump them. And it's like, you know, I'm not here to say if that does or doesn't. It just so consistently happens in movies and shit like this that you're like, I'm not surprised by it, but still, it's just like, bro, we didn't even get to the prison yet. Like, relax. Wow, this guard is elegant with his words. Oh my God, Jolyne, if you were to have like an accident with this quirk, yeah, now would be exactly the time to do it. Oh. What? Yo, she cut. Bro. Oh, I'm already in love with the stand ability. Oh shit. Honestly, the best possible thing he could have sent you for prison. Look at this man's face, bro. And his hair. Oh man, got the ramen noodle fit. Hell no, motherfucker, that's an honor. You wish.
ダメよ 10% のカクテルドリンクだもん
Oh. Whoa.
That was
Oh,
wild.
fuck. Okay, I know that she just killed or they killed somebody, and that's like tragic and all, but can we just marvel at this outfit she's wearing? Holy shit, bro. She going to a runway? My God, she looks fucking fabulous. Bro, your name's on the paperwork. He's just gonna book it? Oh, he's just gonna, I thought he was just gonna run.
Who was still alive.
被害者改めて殺害
Oh my God, dude. Wow, bro.
被告ジョリーン空城を15年間州立グリーンドルフ
Wait,
ィンス
oh
トリー
fuck,
ト
so is the
重警備
lawyer
刑
set
務
her
所
up
にて
too?
それではお元気で空城ジョ
This
リーン
fucking scummy scumbag. Oh yeah, we can't do 15. That's no.
安心していいそしてこの件での捜査はもうないおめでとうロメオ君
Wow.
本当に
Damn it, I knew it, bro. From the second that he made that reaction, I was like, yo, Romeo is gonna fucking his sleaze on her. look, ma'am, I'm sorry, but not everybody can pull off the whole like 3 forks in the head hairdo you got going.
This is a PG-13 stream here. Okay.
This is not a stream, and I don't know what that means, Ian. Let it play. Play.
PG-13.
I don't speak English. Damn, bro, her stand is just like whipping out at every second. Oh my lord.
I forgot about that guy.
Oh, what? I don't even, it's like his skull is just different. We got elf ear dudes and some Zelda monster looking dude, like, oh, and the eye, what is, sir, what happened?
Let's go.
What? Was the thread in that note? Yeah. Oh, bro, let's go. I am all about this fucking stand. Oh, hey, you right about that.
Oh,
you ain't
man.
wrong about that. Damn, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, this was one episode, but I am. Oh, excuse me. I am thoroughly impressed, and like already, Jolyne Stan just like hard made his way up to the top. I mean, I don't know. I'll give it some breathing room before I do courtesy.
Hang on,
like,
you cut out really hard. You were saying I'll give it some breathing room. What?
Oh, I was saying I'll give it some breathing room, like in terms of voting, but that just feels like a courtesy because I'm itching to put it number 1. That stand is just so out the gate. It's so busted. Like it, like clearly
so
looks like
cool.
it needs like you gotta like. There's some work to do with controlling it, but once you get that shit down, you would kill people from not even the same building, the location you're in. Like, oh my god.
Oh yeah,
that's insane.
And that's just the beginning. Like that was literally like a drop of water in the bucket for what that stand is capable of. It's going to be really cool. And just one of the things that again I applaud JoJo for so much is just the absolute creativity that goes into these stand abilities and the way they're utilized and the fights and the thought process that goes through it. It's just like it's incredibly creative each time, which is one of the things that's drawn me to this series so heavy and has kept me with it. And this stand certainly does not disappoint. And this season, this part certainly doesn't disappoint with some of the creativity with the stands as well. It's gonna be really cool. But yeah, I loved the animation. I thought it was fantastic. I thought the voice acting was really good. I'm very excited to see some of these other characters who I know really shine in this part as well. It's going to be really sweet. Jolyne is really funny. I mean, like I always knew she was, but just seeing it actually in action animated now and how, how it's going down, it's just like there's some comedic moments and all that kind of stuff too. And they've just knocked it out of the park. I haven't seen the first episode here obviously didn't show any sort of OP or ED, so I'm very curious. But we got the Jolyne's theme song as well. If you caught that in there,
I did. Yes.
Yeah, which is cool. It's a good one. It's a really good one.
I first off, I don't know if r/the Church of Jolyne exists on Reddit, but if it doesn't, y'all go ahead and check Reddit after this video because I'm starting it. That's a queen right there. I mean, this chick is badass. Her first, JoJo is famous basically for its fashion sense. Like all of these characters, all from part 1. Well, a little bit later in part 1 and then 2 and after.
Sure.
Are like the outfits and the costume. Like everybody's just dressed to the nines all the fucking time, almost like for no reason. Like they don't need to be that. She's like, I'm to assume just going on some casual date or something with Romeo, or whatever his name was, and She looked like she was going to Paris, bro. She looked like she was gonna hit the runway. I'm like, damn, she's like murdered this dude. Apparently, seemingly not, but like they just hit that dude with their car, and he was like bleeding out on a tree. And all I could think about was like, girl, where do I get the 411 on this outfit? Like, what magazine are you gonna be in? She just looks fucking fabulous, bro. I mean, all of them did, to be honest. I mean, we only really saw Jolyne and a little bit of Army's her outfit, but like they all are absolutely fabulous, and just instantly. I love that it's paired with them being in prison, because it's like, they're gonna get the fucking runaround, of course, by obviously the guards, but then clearly there's this bigger plot with the lawyer and now Romeo, and it's like I feel like to be honest nowadays, if you like, I feel like if you come across a character named Romeo in fiction, it's like okay, whatever they say you are, I don't believe is what you are. It's just too synonymous, like with what obviously Romeo and Juliet, which is funny because Jolyne starts with a J too. So it's I definitely like this setup so far. It's only been one episode, but like I said, I'm already Jolyne, already in love with her Stan's ability, and I like that it's not like just some because like this is where my memory of JoJo is fading, but like from my memory. I want to say like parts. I really honestly, part 2 is basically a fog for me. But part 3 and up, 3 to 5, like the stands were dope, and especially like our main protagonist stands were cool, and they all had cool powers. But a lot of the stand stuff, especially later, devolved just kind of into like who can magic punch the best, and like who's got the the most busted ability with their jacked stand man. And so, granted, we haven't seen like the form that this stand takes, but I already like that it's like being implemented in ways where it's like, oh no, you can like utilize the string. Like it's not just like, oh, I have strings in my fingers and I can like whip you with them, and then like I can like, it's like she can like extend it to things to like hear in conversations, and then like used it to like zip through and like cut the dude's ear. There's just so much utility that I'm like thinking about with it. Like, it's just so practically useful in I mean, especially in a prison scenario, but like even just I'm assuming maybe like she'll get out of this prison and then she'll go hunt Romeo like when she's on her investigation or whatever. Like it's just such a cool. It's just so creative, and I love that we're getting back. JoJo's getting back into that era or that thought process when it comes to the stands.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, they just ramp it up every part with how creative they make these stands. It's really nuts. And like I said, like this is just the surface, right? She dropped the pennant down the drain, and we saw that another inmate now has it. Yeah. And it wouldn't be JoJo if we didn't have a bunch of different people with stand abilities. And so you're gonna see what those stand abilities are too, and you're just gonna be like, what? Like some of them are just like incredible in the way they go against each other. I totally forgot, by the way, that her stand, by the way, lets her hear things like that. And I think because it was animated, I'm actually hearing them, like hearing it in action, the ability. I like totally forgot that was a thing from reading it. So that was like I relived that again, and I was like, oh yeah, she totally can hear people, because it's like almost like a phone string thing, like you're playing the phone
like
game.
A phone cord.
Yeah, it's almost like a phone cord in a sense, which I totally forgot about. But it was again another aspect of the anime which really helps this show stand out. Are those is that just that, like those things? It's like, oh, I can actually hear how she hears it now. And when she just sliced that dude's ear off before and caught the baton was just awesome. That was just so cool to watch. It was really something. She uses it very creatively. I mean, she's a Jo star, so all the Jo stars, if anything, are incredibly witty and incredibly adaptive to any situation that they're put in. And they're just clever. They're just a clever family, and that's how they get out of their situations a lot of times, by utilizing what they've been given, the tools at their disposal, better than anyone else could in fights where they're just usually outclassed. And that's how they win, which makes them so interesting as a family and as protagonists. It's really cool. It's really cool to see. But
I agree.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for our first reaction to JoJo Part 6, Stone Ocean. Really enjoyed this one. Hopefully you guys did too. If you did, make sure you're slapping that like button. Sharing this video with your friends as well really goes a long way in spreading the good news that is JoJo, because everything is a JoJo reference. So you will be contributing to just JoJo. So congratulations. Also, hit us up in the comments down below. What did you think of this episode? If you're a first-time watcher, have you seen all of JoJo up to part 5 and you're watching this continuing? Have you never seen JoJo and you wanted to try it out with us? Have you seen it already, and did you think that this first episode lived up to the manga and the expectations that you might have had? I know there were slight things that were cut out for obvious reasons, but I mean, you know, all in all, I think they did pretty good in this first episode. You know, let us know in the comments down below. We're curious. But until next time, folks, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you on the flip. Peace.
Peace.
Ninjas and samurais, blazing the kunais. Find me in the leaf of the cloud, screaming out Bankai. We just some ghouls though, who like seeing parts fly. They like what you saying. Goma got more through the storylines. I tested your neck from the start. My hunters gon' come for your heart. I promise you'll land in my boulevard. Left them in one piece. No.